winter strips the North down to its bones. It's desolate, quiet, and very unforgiving. But there's nowhere I'd rather be. So join us for some peace and big adventure right here on the North Shore of Lake Superior. This is Tiny Cabin Life. It's the dead of winter here in northern Minnesota, and this week we're at a pretty incredible spot. It's a fully off-grid A-frame cabin up in the Sawtooth Mountains above Lake Superior, and will be our home base for this week's adventure. The Sawtooths are regarded as Minnesota's one and only mountain range. They were formed by volcanic activity and later shaped by the glaciers, which scoured valleys and exposed cliff sides. As I mentioned before, they tower over Lake Superior, which is the largest freshwater lake in the world. The whole region is incredibly iconic to our state, and I'm really excited to be back for another adventure. The cabin and surrounding camp is rather impressive. The A-frame is heated by a propane fireplace, and simple electricity for lights and charging phones is gathered through this solar panel. Just steps from the front door is this A-frame outhouse, and there's even a wood-fired sauna, which is always a nice touch, especially up here in the wintertime. The layout inside the cabin is very simple, but designed incredibly well. Both sides of the A-frame have floor-to-ceiling windows, bringing in not only a ton of natural light, but incredible views as well. The sleeping quarters are up in the loft, where you also find a pretty neat surprise that I'm going to utilize in just a moment. Well, cabins don't really get much cozier than this. I'm just blown away by how simple this space is, but at the same time, just how much thought went into the design. The plan for the day is to hopefully get out on a couple of hikes. We're going to start off by heading up the Gunflint Trail a little bit to hike up to an overlook, just to kind of get up into the Sawtooths a little bit. Then from there, we're going to make our way back towards the cabin and do a river hike that is kind of off of most people's radar. It might be a little bit of a hidden gem, and so I'm looking forward to checking that out as well. But before we do anything, I'm going to take some time to whip up a solid cabin breakfast. Dear God, thank you for another day and another adventure. Bless this food. Amen. Well, I got a good old-fashioned breakfast burrito here. There's sausage, egg, hash browns, cheese, and hot sauce. Oh, that'd be great. That is incredibly tasty. I gotta say, there's nothing quite like food cooked on cast iron. This is no exception. It's absolutely delicious.
Now with breakfast out of the way, we're finally heading out on the day's adventure.
Well, it is beyond foggy up here in the higher elevations. So much that I don't know if we're going to see anything really on this hike. We're hiking up to the overlook of Northern Lights Lake, and I can't even see the tops of the trees hardly, so I doubt we're going to really get a good view of the lake at all. Oh man, there's not even a way to get over there. That's the parking lot. Well, we got nowhere to park right now. I don't dare park on the side of the road with this fog. It just would be too dangerous.
I decided to pull off at the next available spot, which is this little water access site. And if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you might recognize this spot from a previous adventure. So right now, we are standing on top of the Brule River, which flows into Northern Lights Lake. Now, the lake is only about 1 to 2 miles that way, but I just don't dare hike on the river because I don't know what the ice conditions are like. I know you can snowshoe and ski on top of rivers up here. In fact, I've done it in the past, but I'm seeing some open water patches and I just don't feel comfortable. So what I think we'll do instead here is just hike along the riverbank, see how far we can get, and if we get stuck or it gets too thick, we'll just have to turn back and find another trail. The Brule River up here in northern Minnesota is small and winding, often more like a stream than a river. It's much more slow moving compared to the other steep North Shore rivers and is fed by lakes, bogs, and springs. It sits in the transition zone between the Sawtooth Highlands and the Boreal Lowlands and feels very remote, even though it's not too far as the crow flies from the Great Lake.
So far, so good here on the right bank. I think we're still technically in the river, but the ice seems really good, really thick. I mean, take a look at this. If I clear it out, it is slushy, but that is solid ice. And I can't even see below it, so there's probably 10 inches or more. So I'm feeling good. How deep the snow is. Wow. I'm 6'3". That's a lot of snow.
Well, at this point, the lake is somewhere up there in the fog. The trail to the overlook for the lake is somewhere off yonder this way. Man, with the snow this deep, I don't dare take Ellie off trail any further to get into the woods. And so I think this is one of those situations where we just got to turn back and try something else. More than any other season, I feel like winter truly shows how powerful and inhospitable this wilderness really is. From the snow and ice to the fog and bitter cold, there is so much that you have to be on top of. I decided to make our way back towards Lake Superior to hike a section of the Superior hiking trail. My original plan was to do a different river hike, but since we just did this one, I figured a change of plans was in order. Wow, is it pretty back here. We're just engulfed in the pines and they're covered in snow. It's an absolute winter wonderland. Ooh, looks like we got a little stream here. Even though, you can see that it's mostly frozen over, there's snow covering it, you can actually hear the faintest little trickle of water. And so that means the water is still flowing underneath the ice and snow, and somewhere there's a little hole which is allowing us to hear it. I just love all the cedar trees that you see in this area. They are so pretty. They've got just the most gorgeous looking bark, and you always seem to see moss and lichens that are growing on it. It is very, very pretty. The Superior hiking trail is easily one of my favorite trails in the country, and it's certainly the most unique here in the state of Minnesota. Not only does it run parallel to Lake Superior, but it weaves its way through the Sawtooth Mountains, which is our one and only mountain range here. It's just an incredible route, and I'm so grateful I get to hop on it as often as I do. Ooh, it looks like we got ourselves a campsite and the name of the creek. This is a really nice little campsite. I love the fact that you've got all of this seating around what I presume to be the fire ring. There's a flat spot for a tent right there, and then another one over there. And then, of course, you've got Woods Creek for filtering water. Honestly, this would be a great spot for an overnighter in the winter. It's not too far to get in here. It's got everything that you need, and it's absolutely beautiful. By the time we made it back to the cabin, sundown was approaching fast, and I knew we had to have a campfire. Well, this is some good campfire weather right here. Temperature is in the high 20s. It's just perfect out. The plan for tonight is to make some good old-fashioned burritos. It's been a while actually since I've made them, so I'm really looking forward to it. And then afterwards, probably cozy up by the fire and put on another classic movie. Definitely looking forward to that too. Dear God, thank you for an awesome day. Bless this food and help us to stay safe tonight. Amen. Well, as promised, I've got a bomb burrito here. We've got ground beef, pico de gallo, guacamole, cheese, and hot sauce. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. That is good. I picked out some extra spicy seasoning for the ground beef, and definitely has a kick. This movie is called The Thing from Another World, and actually it was a viewer who recommended I check this one out. This film was shot in 1951, and it's just so cool to see the type of special effects that they were able to pull off. I mean, this guy's completely engulfed in flames right now. Yeah, I just love watching these old movies out in the middle of nowhere. All right, guys, it is about time to get some sleep. Today was awesome, but I'm definitely ready to hit the hay. See you first thing in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. It is absolutely beautiful outside. It's much colder this morning, and I think due to that, the fog has lifted, and so we're getting just some beautiful clouds, and there's a little bit of wind out there. It's just making for an awesome way to start the day. Well, before we wrap up this adventure, I want to introduce you to the brand new member of the Steward family. This is Autumn Joy Steward, and she was born on February 2nd, 2026. And she is just such a precious little baby, and quite literally a joy to our family. At this point in time, we've been getting to know her for a little over a week, and I can already say confidently that she's going to fit right in with Olivia, Ellie, Riley, and me. And don't worry, the adventures are going to continue on a weekly basis, and I'm sure it won't be long before Autumn is out here with us as well. I want to give a special thank you to our patrons who generously donate to this channel, but again, to all of you who watch, comment, subscribe. You are all collectively the reason that we get to do this on a weekly basis, and I am so incredibly grateful for that. We'll see you guys next week. God bless.